Hello everyone, my name is Pukar Dhital. I'm an English instructor and today we're going to cover the chapter Articles for grade 5. So let's begin the chapter.
So today, let's learn about articles. So what do you think are articles? Have you ever come across words like a, an, and then finally the? You might be wondering, these names are very common in English, isn't it? So you see, to put it simple, a and the, they are all called articles. Now, if we have to divide this, again, we can say there are what we call indefinite articles, indefinite article, and there's also called definite article. So what do you think is indefinite article? Indefinite article is what we call a and an are called indefinite article. I'll tell you why they are called indefinite article and definite article. Of course, so what do we have left now? The is left. So definite article is what we called the, right? So far we've understood that a and the are called articles, and articles can be categorized into two parts: indefinite article and definite article. And for indefinite article, we have a and an, and for definite article, we have the. So why this classification? So when we talk about indefinite article, so what is indefinite? Meaning it talks about indefinite person or thing, all right? So whenever we talk about indefinite article, we mean we're dealing with something vague or not clearly defined. So as to speak, it usually leaves indefinite person or thing spoken of as, for example, if you say a pilot, all right, the one who flies a plane, a pilot. We are here not being specific, all right? It would mean that when you just write a pilot, it could mean any pilot, maybe a pilot from America, a pilot from Nepal, all right? It resembles, the single all pilot resembles all those pilots, all right? It's not being specific that, okay, it's Ram the pilot, no. Or Sam the pilot. It would mean any pilot. When you write a pilot, it would mean any pilot. It resembles all the pilots around the world, but it is not at all being specific. It could be any pilot. And because it's a and an. Remember, a, an are called indefinite article. It could be an orange. So this would again mean any orange, not any specific orange, but it could mean just any orange. Okay, a and an are never specific, never particular, and they're always vague. Let's move further to definite article. Now, the thing about definite article is the. Now, definite article always points out some particular person or thing. Now, the moment you use definite article or the, you're dealing with something that's particular or something that's very specific. All right, something that you are aware of, something that you know. Okay, so I'll give you one example here. So if I write here, let's say for example, okay, because we referred pilot earlier, he saw the pilot, and by the way, he saw a pilot. Is also not that it's incorrect, though we usually place the before the title. That's again, one of the rules of the article. But anyways, so when we say he saw the pilot, what we have to understand is that, okay, so this is something we must be aware of. Here, with that the, it simply means that he saw the same particular pilot. Maybe he knows the pilot personally. Maybe he knows that, okay, the pilot is my friend. His name is Jack, or his name is Ricky. See? So this is what the would mean. Okay, so in what cases do we use a, an, and then the then? Now we use a or an. Now remember, whenever it comes to article, one thing that we must keep in mind is that it's always about sound, or we also call it phonic sound. Now for an, very important, we use an before a word beginning with a vowel sound. So in case you're wondering, what is vowels then? What is vowel? In English, the letters A, E, I, O, U are called vowels. Okay, they're all vowels. And apart from these letters, A, E, I, O, U, all the other letters, they are called consonant. Here we have one vowels, and the other it would be consonant. Okay, consonant means all the letters except vowels. See, that would give us consonant. It's very important to know vowels and consonant before we place a or and. So and is used before a word beginning with a vowel sound or a phonic sound. Like for instance, let's say we place an article here, and here is orange. Orange, okay? We place an article here, and here is honest man, let's say. And here is again we have to fill in the article. We're just working on a or an, by the way. Fill either a or an. Let's say uncle. Uncle. And let's again say university. We will now say watch. And let me put here 1 rupee note. And remember, we are filling in here only a and an. And remember what the rule says? It says that we focus on the beginning of the vowel sound, or let's focus on the phonic sound. The very beginning pronunciation of these words. Often I have found students, all right, they're misled. The moment they see O here, they would assume, oh, O is vowel, that's why it's an here. H is not vowel, it's consonant, that's why it should be A here. Or U is vowel, and U, and W is consonant, I put watch, or sorry, I put A. That is a wrong perception, that is wrong concept. What we have to focus is only the initial letter, only the initial letter, how we pronounce these letters. For instance, when we pronounce orange, all right, remember, if the pronunciation begins with the vowel sound, it's an, okay? So it might include a or a, e, I, o, u. When we say orange, look at the very vowel sound that comes at the beginning. It's or ah. All right. When you have this phonic sound at the beginning, we place an. That's why the answer to this here would be an orange. Why? Because see, or ah, we go for vowel. An orange. Now look at this. Honest man. We don't say honest man. We say honest man. You can say H is silent here. Okay? Because H is silent here. Its pronunciation becomes honest man. Again, is there at the very beginning. Honest man. That's why we once again go for an honest man. Or ah. Even ah, the beginning, it's alright. We focus on that vowel sound and place the article and there. Uncle, again, is there. Alright? An uncle. Now look at this university. Of course, U is vowel, but we have because it starts from vowel does not mean that we place it here. An university. This should be incorrect because as we pronounce university, the initial, right, of university is more like university. UH coming together. University, but not U. Okay, that's why the correct article here is O university. O university is correct. A watch. A watch. Similarly, look at that. O is vowel, but when we pronounce this, it becomes 1 rupees note. 1. Alright? 1 rupees note. Not O, but wa. Alright? So wa comes at first. That's why O 1 rupee note. We must focus on the vowel sound. So moving forward, the definite article, the is used. So when is the used then? Remember, the is particular or specific. Alright, so it's used when we talk about a particular person or thing or one already referred to. Here you go. So whenever we use the, when we talk about a particular person, you know that person. If I said the boy is very naughty, you know who I'm talking about, the boy. The moment I said the boy, you'd know who I'm talking about, or thing, or one already referred to. Okay? So I'm going to give two examples here. Let's say the book you want is out of print. Second example, they called a boy. The boy was not in a mood to come. Now look at this. When you talk about a particular person or thing or one already referred to. Now for the examples which are given here, all right, the book you want is out of print. The book. You want. See, the book you want. Meaning this you here, he knows what book he's talking about. That's why the book. Maybe he's talking about Harry Potter series. Alright, maybe talking about any specific novels. The book you want is out of print. Meaning the person here, you, he knows what kind of book he's talking about. Similarly, they called a boy, alright, just any boy initially. Remember the second part, or one already referred to. They called a boy, now the boy. Now look at this. This the would mean that here it's talking about, it's already referred here. They are talking about this very boy. That's why they called a boy, the boy was not in a mood to come. They called a boy, this the here, which is already referred here as a boy. Alright, when we write again the boy, the here then refers to the boy already mentioned here. Okay, so this is the application of the. And we have one more thing which you should be knowing. There's also a term called zero articles. So what do you understand by zero articles? Zero articles, remember the term zero itself, it means that no articles are needed. Need a, or you don't need an either, and also the. None of these are needed. Alright, there are, of course, not every sentence would require article. Alright, so when none of these articles are used, we call the term zero articles. Let's look at the application. Use of the indefinite article. And what do you understand by indefinite again? That is a and an. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we use it in its original sense of one, something that represents one. For instance, like how, I want to tell you how. 12 inches make a foot, or give me an orange. Look what it's saying, in its original sense of one. So 12 inches make just 1 foot, or we don't have to write 1 foot. When we write a foot, this would mean that we're talking about 1 foot. That's why in its original sense of one. Similarly, give me an orange. When you say give me an orange, you refer that, hey, give me 1 orange. Okay, so whenever we refer to something as one, we go for article. I mean a and an indefinite article. Now number 2, before an unspecified person or thing when they are mentioned for the first time. Now look at that. Before an unspecified person, meaning the person is not known, or thing when they are mentioned for the first time. Alright, anything heard for the first time, we go for a and an. Example of it. Once a king ruled over Nepal. And we don't know what king or who is the king. Once a king ruled over Nepal. Alright. An old man came searching for you. Again. An old man. The old man is not specific. We don't know who that old man is. Any old man. And just one old man came searching for you. Now the third case. Before a word that refer to a whole class in the sense of all or any. And its example, I would clarify you. A dinosaur can swallow an elephant. Second example, a table is a useful piece of furniture. When we refer to a dinosaur here, it means that, see, before a word that referred to a whole class, it referred to the whole species of dinosaurs in the sense of all or any. When we say a dinosaur, it refers to literally a whole species of dinosaurs which had existed way before mankind did. Okay, a dinosaur can swallow an elephant. A table here, on the other hand, any table, all right, it represents in a way all the tables with this all. Okay, and of course, next thing would be number D, before a profession. Like for instance, he is a pilot, or she's a doctor. She is a teacher, let's say. So here we use "or" again. However, if you say he's the pilot, meaning again, all right, you're referring to the pilot, all right, who you know pretty well. Okay. Now, if we talk about the application of the, all right, which is also called definite article. Now, one of the applications is which I had mentioned earlier, right? This is also one of the applications of, we can refer this as number A, in fact. See, the definite article the and its application. When we talk about a particular person, remember I talked about this earlier, or one already referred to, the book, how that book is known to you here, all right? Or they call a boy, and how in the second sentence we can the refers to this very boy the sentence is talking about. Okay, apart from this, there are other many applications of the, all right? We're going to have a quick look at it. So number B would be when a singular countable noun is used to represent a whole class. Now its example would be, for instance, the computer countable, remember that, is a very useful device. The cow is a useful animal. See, when a singular countable noun is used to represent a whole class. Now all these countable noun like the computer or the cow, all right, and when you say the computer, it represents the whole class of the computer. The cow, it represents the whole class of the cow. Before the plural nouns to represent the entire class. Look at that. For example, the rich don't favor the poor. And look at this. Before this noun, the rich here, it means all the rich people. The poor here means all the poor people. All right. With the use of the here, its meaning is the entire class of the rich people is shown here. With this the here, the entire class of the poor people is represented here. Okay. Similarly, number D, before the superlative of adjectives. So what is adjective? It's a describing word. All right. It gives a better meaning to the noun. And usually you have comparative, positive, and superlative. In terms of adjective, for example, if the positive is good, its comparative would be better and its superlative form would be best. So in all the superlative form, we always use the. All right. So here you go. The, see, dark is positive, darker is comparative, and darkest is superlative. That's why before superlative, we always use the. The darkest cloud has a silver lining. Number E would be before the ordinals. Ordinals means what? The numbers, all right? The order in which the number comes. For example, its example would be the first here is the ordinal. The first man in the row is my father. See, for the number, like here, first is the number here. That's why the first man in the row is my father. Move further. Before the proper nouns. Now, this might have a lot of example. For instance, When you talk about desert, you call it the Sahara Desert. Sahara is a proper noun, right? The Sahara Desert or the Gobi Desert. Okay. When you talk about rivers, let's say for instance, you can call it the Ganges, or in Nepal we call it Ganga River, right? The Ganges, because it's proper. Ganges is also a proper noun. Or you can call it the Amazon River. Or it might come before the holy books such as, or the Bhagavad Gita. Again, it's proper noun. Or you can also say the Bible. See? And moving further, we have before the names of the inhabitants, name of the inhabitants of a country. Examples can very well be, for example, the Japanese, or you can call it the Nepalese people. Before the things which are unique. For example, the moon, right? Referring that moon is unique. The moon or the sun is beautiful. The ocean looks like an angry giant. Okay, so this is how you use a and the. These are the applications of a and the. Now, as a homework, what you can do is supply proper articles to following. For a, now you supply proper articles to this. Let's say Ganges is a sacred river. B, unicorn. Number C, M.A. in literature. Number D, one-eyed giant. E, honorable person. Iron is useful metal. Number G, I read 9th chapter of the book. H, old, often disagree with young. Number I, he is professor. He is FBI isn't. So these you can do as your homework, and if you have any queries, feel free to email us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you very much.